All right, guys, welcome back. Tales from the Lockbox. I'm your host, Josh Benoliel, VP of Sales here at Property.ca and home of Condos.ca, Property.ca, and MrLoft.ca. And we have an exciting and amazing guest with us today. I'm excited to get into the weeds with her and pick her brain a little bit about what's going on. So welcome, Esther. Welcome to Tales from the Lockbox. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad to have you. And just to give a little background, I know you just were in our office with a group of, I think, like 30 women inside a powerful group that we have a women's session within Property.ca. And you had everybody jumping around the room, their eyes closed in the office, breathing, meditating, manifesting. All of it was coming together in real time. It was so exciting to see that happening. So
yeah.
Thank you for that. And why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, how we ended up here, what's going on, and let's get into it.
Awesome. So my name is Esther Willinger. I'm a transformational coach and breathwork instructor.
Okay.
I wasn't doing this for a long time. It's more recent. Before this, I had my own digital advertising agency for over 20 years.
Wow.
And the onset of COVID completely flipped my world around.
Okay.
It made me revisit what I was doing for the last 20 years and whether I was really happy continuing to do that for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
And what I realized was the time for that part of my life was done in the sense that like it wasn't feeling fulfilling to me anymore.
Okay.
And COVID with that putting all of our worlds on pause.
Yeah.
And completely shutting everything down, you know, accounts shutting down, like clients overnight having to pause, kids having to stay home, and just reevaluating what I wanted to do moving forward really gave me time to really put a pause on me and just reflect what I want to do for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Mm-hmm. And that's when I discovered that like that business and that lifestyle wasn't serving me anymore. And it made me kind of just take time to reflect as to what are my gifts, what can I bring into the world, what would feel more fulfilling. And what I discovered in my own personal transformation process, which was an incredible experience of learning, discovery, and expansion, I discovered many tools that helped me along the way. And then I discovered that this is something I can really do for other people and help them make personal transformations that will help them find more fulfillment in life, tune into their innate gifts, and show up in the world in a way that will like light up their own world and the ones around them.
It's incredible. Wow.
Thank you.
Bravo. Everyone would be clapping right now to
Thank you.
hear that. You know, it's crazy. It's interesting to hear, like, you know, COVID-19 changed everyone's life, some for the worse and some for the better, and it changed how the world works. But, you know, one thing that it really brought to light, I find, for the world is, like, the stress of mental health. Like, it exacerbated mental health in people in the world talking about it. It opened up a door for people to actually talk about it. It opened up a door for people to feel comfortable talking about it, I find. Like, before that, people were kind of just like, you just got to do your shit and just move on. But that kind of really opened it up and created a space for it. And it's amazing to see how you shifted through that. And I think the world needs people like you now more than ever. The world's not getting any easier to live in. It's a harder place, and people need to take care of themselves. So bravo to you for doing that. And from what I saw today and what you were doing, it was really incredible to watch. You're really good at what you do. So for it being a new thing, it's incredible to see how natural you are at that. And I mean, what are some of the tools in your toolkit now that you've kind of like, you know, and I'm going to like the kind of quick versions of them that people can tap into and that should start to identify to have to navigate mental health and business life and all these kind of things? What are some of those tools?
There's some really basic tools. There's definitely, I want to touch on a couple of key areas. One is our mindset, right? Okay. All of us have busy minds. Our minds are constantly working. And a lot of times we're just telling the same stories in our minds over and over. And that's keeping us where we are. So part of it is taking a look at that and seeing what are the stories that are running around and holding us where we are, and what are the limiting beliefs that we have that are creating the same experiences over and over. And then once we recognize them, what can we do to break through them and reframe them? So there's the mindset, and that's a whole big thing. The other thing is the emotions, right? If we are in a state where we are in a low emotional state, where we are feeling sad or feel low energy, then our thoughts will be generated by those emotions, and those thoughts will create action or inaction, which lead to those actions that we take, whether it's just staying in bed because you don't feel good, or getting out of bed and just moping around, or take a certain action that that will start our day and give us a boost. And whatever we do will manifest the way we experience that day.
Right.
So if we look at our emotions and we can change that state, and so what part of what you saw today was the body activation. By putting on music that energizes us, and we make ourselves move around and shake off the tension and the tension and the thoughts that are keeping our mind, then we elevate our energy, and all of a sudden we're making space for new emotions, new energy that opens up our mind to new ideas and positive thinking, which all, once you get in that stream, then you have a better chance of manifesting more positive things into your day and attracting them. And exactly, and attracting them into your day. And so that's the spiral, right? And so that's where breath work and then the tools that we use in breath work really help make that shift a lot faster. Sometimes, and I do transformational coaching too, which is quite deep, as far as a lot of it comes out of the discussions and the insights that people discover through the questions that make them look at things differently, and then from there have a new insight that makes them shift their worlds, right? But I find that breath work can do a lot of that work a lot faster, just through the experience of, like I said, between the body activation, the breath work, the guidance, the reframing, or the positive thoughts that are heard throughout the experience and taken in. All that combined with the, tuning into your breath and bringing presence to your day. Because again, when we are thinking about the past or worrying about the future, you're not present.
Absolutely.
And that was part of what kept me stuck for so many years. I was always worried about my clients. What more can I do? How much better can I do for them? And how can I help my employees, get to the next level and give them ideas, and how can just always working about what can I do for them, what can I do for them, what can I do better, and it was always just about busyness, right? As opposed to making space for just allowing something creative, a new idea to rise up. So so it's a combination of all of those things, and then just discovering that, like, okay, we have time in the day to be really busy, but are you taking time to just be present? And if you use your breath as something to anchor you into this moment, right? Take a deep inhale. Exhale. You see, just in that, right? It's such a simple thing, but it actually just consciously brings you into the moment. And that's where you can actually get an epiphany.
It's so funny. So, like, I run a large sales team here. Agents are always, they're listening to this, they're listening to what we're talking about, but, people come to me with problems. Like in real estate, these situations occur, like these energies get created very quickly. You've been working with a client. I'll give you an example of somebody that actually you probably know, but he called me today and she's like, I've been working with this client for a year. I've shown them 50 places. We've gone to all these things. And then all of a sudden now she wants to buy this different pre-construction condo, and she's dealing with another agent now, and she's like, just like destroyed inside. And it's very hard for people to snap out of it. Like someone like maybe like you can, I potentially can. Sometimes it's even hard for me, but I have tools. I've sharpened my tools there. But a lot of people don't take the time to actually breathe. I'm a big breathwork supporter. Just so you know about me, like sauna, hot exposure, cold exposure, breathwork. I have a sauna, an ice bath in my backyard every single day. We'll talk about that shortly.
Love it. I'm coming over.
But we can get into that. But back to my point is that, like, you get into these environments where you go into like fight. It's fight or flight mode, and both kind of, I find, in real estate hit at the same time. Like this, I want to fight, I want to flight. I don't even know like where to go. This emotion gets stuck, and often enough, when someone calls me with these problems, the first thing I say to them is, "Hold on, let's stop for a second. Let's just take a couple breaths together over the phone." Just to like set the equilibrium here. Like, let's just get back to baseline so that before we figure out the solution of how I'm going to help you out of this, let's just understand that this is a problem. It's not going to affect you in 5 years from now. It's not. There's people who are dealing with massive problems in the world. It's a small problem, not a big problem. It sucks. You're talking about a lot of money potentially to lose. I get that part of it. But for us to get to a positive solution and to the result that you're looking for, we have to approach it from a place of positivity, and that energy that you're holding right now, that's what's going to result in how what's going to happen. If you call the client panicking right now and having that stress behind you, guess what's going to happen? They're going to feel that off of you. Versus if you're cool, level-headed, from a positivity place and coming from the right intention and the right thought process of taking that time, maybe writing it out a little bit of what the problem is and how the solution can come, you can create that result a lot quicker. And that's exactly what you're talking about. That's
exactly what I'm talking about. I'll actually even give you a personal example. My oldest daughter, last year, she was in high school. She's now in university. And I picked her up from school one day and she was having a horrible day. Everything was going wrong. They were going on a school trip. She still didn't have, everybody chose their rooms, who's going to be their roommates, a whole bunch of other things, just negative experiences with friends or whatever. And she just came into the car and she was like, everything was wrong. School was wrong. People were wrong. Everything. And I said, okay, first of all, you have to accept where they are. This is their experience. So I said, I understand. I said, and, let's just leave it at that for a second. And I said, would you allow me to do a breathwork session with you?
This is your daughter.
This is my daughter. And teenagers are not really, yes, in high school. And teenagers are, they're not necessarily into it. She knew I'd been doing it for a long time. I just said, you know what, let me just do it.
Let's just try.
Let's just try.
What are you going to lose here?
So I just said, if nothing else, you just let me practice my own, right? So came home. I did a session with her. I made her do the body activation. She did the breath work. She felt better by the end of it. I didn't have a solution for her. And I didn't advise her and I didn't tell her anything to do. But because she had that experience and then she just felt better by the end of it, we shook off the tension, the negativity. She made space in her mind for just peace and whatever new thoughts could flow in. I didn't, and then between now and the end of the day, she called me back. She's like, Mom, I bumped into the hall. They called me. They happened to not have a room. I really like that person. They invited me, and this thing happened, and that thing, and it was like all of a sudden her day turned around. I didn't change. I didn't give her advice.
You just created space for her.
I just created space for her to
be positive, to be open, to let it all.
Exactly, to just calm down, breathe, be in the moment, shift her energy. Because when you show, exactly what you said, if you're nervous and everything's negative, you could have an opportunity right in front of your eyes, but you're not even seeing the opportunity, right? When COVID happened, so let's go back to me. The world is shutting down. I have clients leaving. I don't know how I'm going to pay employees because no money's coming in. I actually had my son's bar mitzvah that was supposed to be in Israel. Within a month of that, we had 120 guests from all over the world that were going to meet us there. That didn't happen overnight. Something that I planned for 13 years. And they say, plan, and everything will go to plan. No. There are times where your plan does not go according to plan. Everything was shutting down. My personal life overnight, my business life, everything. And it was hard to take at that moment. It was a big pill to swallow. But the moment I took pause in that. And believe me, I cried many nights leading up to my son's bar mitzvah, which ended up being a Zoom bar mitzvah, which became a very common experience back then. The moment I took pause and I just said, okay, this is my reality. Do I want to be crying on the day of his experience for what I don't have? Or do I want to be grateful that I'm healthy, that I have the 5 most important people in my life, and my husband and my kids all here, and that we're all together, and that he's still having this experience even in our own little home? And I woke up that morning and I said, I am going to be happy just for this moment, for what I'm experiencing. And it ended up being a beautiful day. It was what I turned it to be.
Yeah, you
leading up to that, I was grieving. And I just changed that mind shift of like, I am grateful for this moment, this time, our health, being together with the 5 most important people, which I probably, a lot of time while I was working in the past, wasn't paying enough attention to. And in that moment of me shifting my energy and my thoughts and my gratitude, that day ended up becoming such a beautiful day with friends on Zoom, who was an elevating experience for them because they were all, we all got to come together, even from our own homes. We still put music on and danced together and did our own little hora, and we just elevated our energy. And to this day, my son remembers that experience.
He will forever.
And is so grateful, and he actually was the one who thinks he initiated the dancing. So let him have that thought. But I thought I was the one who initiated it. But it doesn't matter.
It all happened.
We all experienced it, and that's an example of, that's a big example of like everything is wrong. And then you could still look at something, and instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Because that's very disempowering, and that's where we get into. So, for example, that agent who everything is going wrong, it's very deflating. And if you look at it and say, why is this happening to me? You're just going to keep spinning the story of the whys that you always tell yourself. Or you can pause and go, okay, that sucks, but maybe this is happening for a reason. What can I learn from this experience?
Right.
What can I shift? Maybe the fact that my client did that is out of my control, but what's in my control in this moment? Mm-hmm. What actions can I take? Mm-hmm. How can I shift this?
Yeah.
And sometimes, and for me, while everything was, seemed like it was falling apart, and it was a bit of a journey in that experience, I am so grateful for that pause in my life and all the lessons that I learned along the way that completely shifted my beliefs, because a lot of the way we behave is through our beliefs.
Right.
And I completely revisited all the beliefs that were keeping me stuck, and I reframed them. And I feel from that point, I started to learn, grow, expand myself, and took me on a journey to what I'm doing today, which I'm so grateful for, because I feel so fulfilled, and I see the work that it does for the people that I'm working with, and that really fills my heart and soul, and that really is what drives me every day.
It's amazing. It's great stuff. So, one of the things I like to have listeners be able to pull out is quick fire kind of bullet point kind of stuff that kind of summarizes where we're at with how you're feeling, which is so incredible, and the amazingness of all of it. If you had to say to somebody, here are the 3 things, quick fire kind of bullet kind of answers, to create yourself into a positive environment, what are the few things that you need to do, boom, 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 to get to a point of creating a positive environment for yourself?
Okay, so first of all, I would suggest that a lot of people have a belief that they have to know everything. I know everything, or I know what I know. If you believe that you know everything, there's no room for growth. Mm-hmm. There's no room to learn. So number one, know that if you feel you know everything, there's no room for learning and growth. If you feel you're the best at everything, there's also no room, right? So my advice is, even in the situations where you feel you have all the tools and everything, and you should know everything, be curious. First, start by being curious. Because when you're curious and you start asking new questions, you put yourself in a state of learning. And when you open yourself to learning, then there's new things that you're going to learn, discover, and new opportunities that are going to come out of that. Don't also get stuck in a state of learning where you're learning so much and you feel like, I still need to learn so much more before I take action. So from learning, the next idea is take action. You learn something, immediately take action. But from action is where everything happens, right? It's the actions that you take that lead to the results. So be open to learn, take action, and don't be afraid to take action. A lot of the reasons that people don't take action, they get paralyzed in where they're at, is I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. I'm not experienced enough in that. You have to start somewhere. Take small steps. And practice makes improvement.
Yeah, it's a lot of the things that we talk about here. First of all, like that overanalyzing, we call that paralysis by analysis. That's one of our key words that we use here on Tales from the Lockbox. Another one that I like to talk about is that every MVP that you see, every top producer that you see, every anyone, every president, every whatever it is, everyone who's top of their class, they all started as a rookie. It doesn't matter how you got to the end, but everyone started at the bottom. Everyone was born. Everyone was a baby and drank milk or whatever it is. Everyone ate food. Everyone went to school. Everyone had that same beginning. It's where you put yourself in that chain, where your mindset is, and how you allow yourself to grow as an individual that allows you to get to where you want to go. Because the truth of the matter is no matter how good you are, there's always somebody better. No matter how good Michael Jordan was at basketball, there will be another person who will be better than him. There will be somebody who will be better than Tiger Woods one day at golf. You know what I mean? Like, there will always be, that next person who will be better. So as good as you think you are, you can always grow. And it's something that I push a lot here too. It's that you have to be open-minded. You have to be positive. You have to be accepting of what's happening. And you have to learn how to get through these tough points to get there.
Absolutely. And you have a very good point there is don't look to people as a point of comparison. Oh, well, they're there, they're so good at it. I'm nowhere near that. Don't look at people as a point of comparison. Look at people for inspiration.
Exactly.
They are where they are because they've been through the cycles of recognizing where are their blocks, be open to learning. They were open to taking daring steps to take action and make mistakes. The other thing that people are scared of, and this was one of my biggest blocks in my agency, is like I felt like everything had to be perfect, especially in agency world. It has to be perfect, and if it's not perfect, it's not good enough. Well, if you have that belief, you're going to be scared to do anything because in the beginning, when you try anything new, it's not going to be perfect. So I always advise clients to give themselves the space to be perfectly imperfect. And if you allow yourself to be imperfect, you will start doing new things, and by doing them over and over, you are going to learn from those experiences, you are going to improve in that, and you are going to get better and better, which builds confidence, and it's confidence that, enables us to do the things that are challenging and to get out there and to feel confident in the things that originally scared us.
Amazing. Well, this is all great stuff we're talking about. We are coming to the end of where we want to wrap things up. So if you can leave it at like one last piece of, the mic is yours, your last piece of wisdom, of knowledge in a bite-sized piece of information that you could feed to anyone listening, whether it's a real estate agent, a broker, an investor, anybody who's listening, what would that be?
I think we covered a lot, but I'm going to go back to the breath.
Okay.
Because the breath is what brings us into our present. And we really don't pay attention to this beautiful life gift that is our life source. Our life source is our breath. And the quality of our breath is the quality of our life. Mm-hmm. If you are stressed, you will generally have short, shallow breathing, and that creates issues where you're not getting great oxygenation in your body, which further creates more tensions in your bodies, pains, mindset, all of that. And so if we can, number one, tune into that from a physical point of view, but also from a presence point of view, then it will help you with your health, but it will also help you with your mindset. So if I can just share like maybe one quick exercise, breathing
Please.
exercise that everybody can do every morning or any time of day when they want to take a pause and just get focused, tune into the moment and like clear their mind, just as that example
Please.
of that. So there's something called box breathing. Have you heard of box breathing?
Yeah, 4 counts in, 4 counts out.
Exactly.
4 counts in, 4 counts hold, 4 counts out,
Exactly.
4 counts empty.
Right. So even Navy SEALs use this before an operation and to help them get focused. So if they're using it and it's a simple exercise, we can all use it. So if you want, we can do it together.
Sure.
Okay, so the way it works is we inhale for 4 counts, hold your inhale for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, hold on the exhale for 4, and then we repeat. And we're gonna do that 4 times. Okay, 4, 4, 4, 4 times. So I'm gonna lead, and you're gonna do it.
Sure.
And
Let's do it.
and then we'll see, and then people can follow along from wherever they're listening, and you can check in how you feel now and
Beautiful.
how you feel after, okay?
And Lucas will cue in some music in the background to get the beat going, to build it up, to set the mood.
Perfect, that'd be
Lucas
awesome.
is part of our podcast too, for those behind the camera.
Okay,
He's back there.
awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you to just sit upright because it's good to be
Let's do it.
aligned. Okay, fully relaxed, shoulders relaxed, knee relaxed, and then when you're ready, empty out.
Let's go.
Okay, empty out, and then we're gonna go inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold on the exhale, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it there, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. And just see how you feel.
Good.
Good? Awesome.
Balance.
So that's a small thing. It takes, like you saw,
Relaxed.
you see, it takes like a minute or two, depending on how your the rate of those beats, and then it at least just gets you a minute to take time for yourself, pause, focus, and start all over.
Amazing. And thank you so much. And if anyone wants to get in touch with you to do some transformational or business coaching, how do they do so?
So I have a website. It's epiclife.pro, www.epiclife.pro. You can also follow me on Instagram at Esther Willinger 1.
Okay.
And so those are probably the easiest ways to get in touch with me.
Amazing. Perfect. We love using Instagram as a tool of communication.
Amazing.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Again, Tales from the Lockbox. We're here with Esther. She's amazing at what she does. I highly recommend you getting in touch with her if you want to make a shift in your life or need some guidance or help. Again, I'm your host, Josh Benoliel, VP of Sales here at Property.ca. As always, have a great week. Stay hungry, stay motivated, stay positive, stay breath. Thank you, Esther. Have a good one, guys. Ciao.
Thank you.